You have been completely lied to about what it takes to build wealth. Society tells you that the secret to escaping the rat race is finding the perfect stock, timing the market, or discovering the next obscure cryptocurrency before anyone else does. They tell you that investing is a fast-paced, high-stakes game where the smartest and quickest players win. I am here to tell you that this is not a video about getting rich. This is a video about why you are actively keeping yourself poor. The mistake you are making right now has nothing to do with what you are buying. It has everything to do with how your brain has been hijacked. You don't have a strategy problem. You have a psychology problem. If you are treating your portfolio like a lottery ticket, you are not an investor. You are a gambler walking straight into a trap that was designed perfectly and mathematically to drain your bank account. Welcome to the invisible casino. Every time you open your investing app, you are not stepping into a financial institution. You are walking onto a digital casino floor. Think about how a real-world casino is built. There are no clocks on the walls. There are no windows to let you see the sun go down. The carpets are mesmerizing. The sounds are specifically tuned to trigger dopamine, and the oxygen is pumped in to keep you awake. Every single element is engineered by behavioral psychologists with one goal: to make you forget about the outside world, keep you sitting at the table, and convince you to hand over your chips. The modern investing world has adopted this exact architecture. The confetti animations when you place a trade. The bright red and green colors. The push notifications that alert you to a massive price swing just as you're trying to go to sleep. It is all designed to make you play the game. Because the system does not make money when you patiently hold an asset for 20 years. The system makes money when you panic. The system makes money when you trade. The system makes money when you act. If you do not understand the architecture of this invisible casino, you will be consumed by it. There are 4 specific rooms in this casino, for traps that 90% of beginners walk straight into. Let's break down exactly how they work, how they are manipulating you, and how you can finally find the exit door. Trap 1. The velocity illusion. We are wired to believe that speed equals progress. If you want to get in shape, you run faster. If you want a promotion, you work harder. In almost every area of human existence, taking massive, rapid action yields massive, rapid results. But the invisible casino uses this deeply ingrained instinct against you. When you first start investing, you are usually driven by a feeling of frustration. You look at your paycheck, you look at your bills, and you realize the math doesn't add up. You are tired. You are stressed. You are desperate for a way out of the grind. So, you fund your account. You buy a stock or a coin. And then, you do the most dangerous thing a beginner can do. You watch it. You check it in the morning while you brush your teeth. You check it at lunch. You check it sitting at red lights. Every time you open that app, you are pulling the lever of a slot machine. When the number goes up, your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine, the exact same chemical released when a gambler hits a jackpot. You feel like a genius. But when the number goes down, your brain registers it as physical pain. This is a psychological principle known as loss aversion. Science has proven that the psychological pain of losing $50 is twice as intense as the joy of winning $50. Here is where it gets dangerous. Because you are checking your portfolio so frequently, you subject yourself to extreme emotional whiplash. You are riding a roller coaster in the dark. Eventually, the pain of the red days becomes too much to handle. Your heart rate spikes. You feel a knot in your stomach. Panic sets in. And to make the pain stop, you sell. You lock in your loss. And the moment you sell, the casino takes its cut. This is the velocity illusion. The belief that because the market is moving fast, you must move fast. You equate clicking buttons with being productive. But the truth is, the more active you are in your portfolio, the less money you will make. You are not outsmarting the market. You are just paying more fees, generating more taxes, and making emotional decisions based on short-term noise. The solution to the velocity illusion is radically simple. You must blindfold yourself. True wealth is not built in days or weeks. It is built in decades. When you buy a quality asset, you are buying a piece of a business or a scarce resource. You do not check the value of your house every 15 minutes to see if you should sell it. You live in it. You let it appreciate. Treat your investments the same way. Delete the app from your home screen. Turn off the notifications. Stop checking the score and let the game play out. Trap 2. The complexity trap. As you walk deeper into the invisible casino, you will encounter the high roller tables. These are the people using big words. They are talking about options trading, moving averages, Fibonacci retracements, and algorithmic margin leveraging. There is a deeply rooted insecurity in human beings. We want to feel smart. We want to feel sophisticated. And the financial industry preys on this insecurity by wrapping simple concepts in complex jargon. They convince you that if you want to make serious money, you cannot do something as boring as buying a simple index fund. You need a complicated strategy. You need multiple monitors flashing with charts. You need to look like you are hacking into the mainframe. But this is the part nobody tells you. Complexity in investing is usually just a mask for risk. Think about the smartest people you know. When they enter the investing world, they often suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is a cognitive bias where people with a high level of intelligence in one area mistakenly believe they will naturally be experts in another. A brilliant engineer or a successful doctor assumes that because they are smart, they can outsmart Wall Street. So, they start using advanced financial instruments they do not fully understand. They trade derivatives. They try to predict macroeconomic shifts. And they get slaughtered. They get slaughtered because the market is not a math test. The market is a living, breathing ecosystem of human emotion, fear, and greed. No mathematical formula can predict when a CEO will get caught in a scandal or when a sudden global event will disrupt supply chains. I want you to imagine two people. The first is a day trader with 4 screens, a subscription to premium financial news, and a complex algorithm he built himself. He is stressed, he barely sleeps, and he is constantly tweaking his strategy. The second is a plumber. He knows nothing about finance. But every single month, for 30 years, he takes 15% of his paycheck and automatically puts it into a broad market index fund that tracks the top 500 companies in the world. He never looks at the news. He never checks his balance. 30 years later, the day trader has likely blown up his account twice and is sitting on mediocre returns after taxes and fees. The plumber is a multimillionaire. The solution to the complexity trap is ruthless simplicity. You do not get bonus points for degree of difficulty in investing. The simpler your strategy, the more likely you are to stick with it. Find an asset class with a proven, multi-decade track record. Set up an automatic transfer so you don't even have to think about it. Be the boring plumber. Let the high rollers play their complicated games. You are here to quietly build an empire, not to show off how smart you are. Trap 3. The leverage guillotine. Now we arrive at the most dangerous room in the invisible casino. The room where fortunes are not just lost, but where lives are ruined. This is the room of leverage. Leverage is just a fancy financial word for borrowed money. The casino comes to you and whispers in your ear, "You're doing great. But your account is small. If you borrow some of our chips, you can multiply your winnings. It sounds intoxicating. If you have $1,000 and the asset goes up 10%, you make $100. Big deal. But if you borrow $9,000 from the broker, now you are playing with $10,000. That same 10% move just made you $1,000. You doubled your actual money in a single day. You feel like a god. You feel like you have hacked the universe. But here's the truth about the leverage guillotine. It cuts both ways. And gravity always wins. When you use leverage, you are removing your margin of safety. You are no longer an investor. You are a hostage to volatility. Markets are chaotic. It is entirely normal for an asset to drop 20% in a single week before eventually going on a massive multi-year run. If you are using your own money, that 20% drop is annoying, but you can simply wait it out. You can hold. You survive. But if you are heavily leveraged, that same 20% drop triggers a margin call. The casino does not care about your long-term thesis. The casino wants its borrowed chips back. They will forcefully sell your assets at the absolute bottom of the market to cover their loan. You don't just lose some money. You lose everything. And the worst part? You get wiped out right before the asset inevitably recovers. You are left standing outside in the cold, completely broke, watching the ship sail away without you. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history, famously said there are only 3 ways a smart person can go broke: liquor, ladies, and leverage. The emotional toll of leverage is absolute terror. You cannot sleep. You wake up in a cold sweat, reaching for your phone to check the overnight markets. You snap at your family. Your entire mood is dictated by the microscopic movements of a line on a screen. This is not freedom. This is a self-imposed prison. The solution to the leverage guillotine is to accept your current reality. You have to swallow your pride and play with the money you actually have. Yes, it will take longer. Yes, the gains will seem smaller at first, but you will have peace of mind. You will never be forced to sell. You will be bulletproof. In the world of investing, survival is the only thing that guarantees success. If you can simply stay in the game long enough without blowing up your account, compound interest will eventually do the heavy lifting for you. Refuse the casino's borrowed chips. Trap 4. The purpose reversal. This is the final trap. It is the most subtle, and it is the root cause of why 90% of beginners fail. It is a fundamental misunderstanding of what investing is actually for. Most beginners come to the market because they have an income problem. They hate their job. They aren't making enough money. They want to buy a nicer car, or travel, or just be free from their boss. So they look at investing as their savior. They think, if I can just make a few good trades, I can quit my job. I can use the market to generate my income. They are using the wrong tool for the job. Investing is not designed to make you rich. Investing is designed to keep you rich and to multiply the wealth you have already created. Imagine you are trying to build a massive, roaring bonfire. The fire is your wealth. What most beginners do is they stand there with a match, their small initial investment, and they keep trying to light the bare ground, praying that the match will somehow explode into a massive fire. They try riskier and riskier matches. They buy dog coins. They buy obscure penny stocks. They are desperate for a spark. But you don't build a fire with just a match. You build a fire by chopping wood. Chopping wood is your income. It is your skills. It is your career. It is the business you build. If you want to be wealthy, your primary focus in the beginning should not be on your investment portfolio. Your primary focus must be on increasing your earning power. You need to read books, acquire high-income skills, work harder, provide more value to the marketplace, and drastically increase the amount of money you bring home every month. Once you have a massive pile of wood, a strong, consistent income, then you use investing as the match. You take the surplus capital you have created through your hard work and you place it into the market. That is when the fire catches. That is when it blazes. When you try to use investing to solve an income problem, you act out of desperation. You take insane risks because a normal 8% or 10% annual return isn't enough to change your life when you only have $500 invested. You are forcing the market to do something it wasn't built to do. And the market will punish your impatience by taking whatever little money you had. The mindset shift here is profound. Stop demanding that your portfolio pay your rent. Take the pressure off your investments. Your job is to make the money. Your portfolio's job is to protect it from inflation and slowly, quietly, multiply it over time. So let's step back and look at the invisible casino one last time. You now see the architecture. You see the flashing lights of the velocity illusion, designed to make you overtrade and bleed out from 1,000 tiny cuts. You see the high roller tables of the complexity trap, designed to stroke your ego while stealing your money. You see the dark room of the leverage guillotine, offering you borrowed confidence before cutting your head off. And you see the tragic reality of the purpose reversal, where desperate people try to use the market as a shortcut instead of a shield. You don't have to play their game. You can walk out the exit doors right now. True investing is incredibly boring. It is the quiet discipline of spending less than you make. It is the emotional control to ignore the panic on the news. It is the humility to buy simple, proven assets. It is the patience to do nothing for decades while the rest of the world runs around in a chaotic frenzy, trying to get rich by next Tuesday. The casino wants you to be a player. It wants you to be hooked on the dopamine, stressed about the charts, and leveraged to the hilt. Because as long as you are playing, the house always wins. But you are no longer a player. You are awake. You know the rules. You know that wealth is not found in the adrenaline of a lucky trade. Wealth is found in the silent, unstoppable force of time. Stop gambling with your future. Walk out of the casino, plant your seeds in the quiet earth, and let the years do the work. The game isn't about running the fastest. It's about being the last one standing.